Welcome to the Whiskers Sanctuary. I'm really glad you're here. Take a slow breath and let your body settle a little more completely into wherever you're resting right now. Notice the weight of you, the heaviness of your limbs, the softness of the surface beneath you, and just allow yourself to sink into it a little further. You don't have to go anywhere tonight. You don't have to do anything at all. The only thing that's asked of you right now is to be still and let yourself be carried. Tonight, we're going somewhere that moves, gently, steadily through the dark, a night train making its quiet way through the world while everything inside it rests. And somewhere aboard that train, tucked into a warm corner while the rhythm of the rails moves beneath it like a slow and steady heartbeat, a cat is already almost asleep. Let yourself settle and we'll begin. The train is already moving. The train has been moving for a long time now, long enough that the motion has stopped being something noticed and become something simply felt. A gentle, continuous rocking that moves through the carriage like breath, like the slow swing of something suspended, like the particular lullaby that only a moving thing can make. The rails beneath the wheels produce a steady rhythm, not loud, not intrusive, just present. A soft percussion that runs the full length of the train and fills the quiet between the other sounds the way a heartbeat fills the quiet of a sleeping body. Steady, patient, unceasing. Inside the carriage, the lights are low, the kind of low that says the day is finished. Rows of seats, mostly empty at this hour, their headrests draped with the occasional forgotten scarf or folded jacket. The windows are dark mirrors, the world outside too black to see clearly, reflecting back only the dim interior, the pale glow of the overhead lights, and here and there the brief smear of a distant lamp as the train passes through the sleeping country beyond the glass. The air is warm and carries a faint metallic scent, the particular smell of trains, of journeys, of the accumulated breath of everyone who has ever traveled in this carriage through the night. It is not an unpleasant smell. It is simply the smell of being in motion, of being carried somewhere, of belonging for a few hours to the rhythm of something larger and steadier than oneself. And in a corner seat, half hidden by the slight dimness between the overhead lights, a cat is resting. It is curled loosely, not tightly, not with any tension, but in the easy, open way of a creature that feels no need to make itself small. One paw rests forward, its chin is low, its eyes are at that particular half-mast that belongs to the space between waking and sleep, where the world is still received but no longer processed, simply allowed to pass through like water through open hands. The train rocks on. The rhythm continues. The cat breathes. The cat feels the train the way the train feels the rails. Not as something separate from itself, not as a surface it happens to be resting on, but as something it has become part of. The way a leaf becomes part of the river it rests on, moving with the current, not because it has decided to, but because decision no longer has anything to do with it. The rocking is simply the condition of being here. The rhythm is simply what is. And what is enough. Through the window, the dark country continues to pass. Occasionally, a light, a farmhouse window, a road crossing, the brief orange constellation of a small town, appears and then disappears, swallowed back into the dark before it has fully registered. The cat's eyes, when they open at all, receive these lights without curiosity, without tracking them, letting them come and go the way one lets sounds come and go in the deep hours of the night. They are simply the world, continuing its business beyond the glass, and the glass is enough of a boundary to make that world feel very far away. A faint vibration runs through the seat beneath the cat. Not the rhythm of the rails exactly, but something below that, deeper, the underlying hum of the engine doing its patient work far away at the front of the train. It is a sound felt more than heard, a low continuous frequency that seems to move through the bones rather than the ears. The cat's body receives it without resistance. It simply moves through, the way warmth moves through, the way sleep moves through when the body has finally stopped arguing with it. The carriage is very quiet now. Whatever other passengers may be aboard are themselves asleep or resting, or simply sitting in that particular stillness that long journeys produce. The stillness of someone who has surrendered to the fact that they are in motion and cannot be anywhere else until the train decides otherwise. There is something freeing in that surrender, something that feels, if you allow it to, almost like rest. The cat allows it. The rhythm continues, steady, steady, steady. And the cat rests within it the way a stone rests in a riverbed, held by the current without being moved by it, present and still, and completely at ease with the motion all around. The cat is no longer watching the window. At some point, impossible to say exactly when, the outside world stopped being something to observe and became simply a presence, the way the sound of rain becomes simply a presence, the way the warmth of a room becomes simply a presence, felt but no longer thought about, received but no longer processed. The dark glass is there, the passing lights are there, the rhythm of the rails is there. But the cat has moved below the level at which these things require any response, into a deeper register where they are simply the texture of the journey, the fabric of the night, the particular quality of being here in this warm and moving place. Its breathing has synchronized with the rocking, almost exactly, almost without trying. Each gentle forward sway drawing a slow breath in, each return releasing it softly out, so that the cat and the train have found, in the way that two things sometimes find each other in the dark, the same unhurried rhythm, in and sway, out and rock, in and sway, out and rock. A duet so quiet and so slow it is barely distinguishable from silence. The warmth in the carriage has deepened. It is the warmth of enclosed space and low lights and many slow hours, thick and even and complete. The kind of warmth that doesn't ask to be noticed, but simply surrounds, the way water surrounds a stone at the bottom of a quiet pool. The cat is held in it entirely. Its fur, its paws, the small soft weight of it resting in the corner seat, all of it wrapped in the same ambient, unhurried warmth. Outside, a long stretch of darkness passes without interruption. No lights, no crossings, no brief glimpses of the world beyond the glass. Just dark and the reflection of the carriage in the window and the steady, patient voice of the rails beneath it all, saying the only thing it has ever said, and the only thing that needs to be said at this hour. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. The cat is asleep. Not suddenly, not with any moment of transition that could be pointed to, but in the gradual, inevitable way of a creature that has been moving towards sleep for a long time and has finally, gently arrived. Its eyes are fully closed now. Its breathing is the slowest thing in the carriage, slower than the rhythm of the rails, slower than the rocking, slower even than the low, persistent hum of the engine far ahead. Just the slow rise and the slow fall, and the long, quiet pause between them where everything rests. The train carries it forward through the dark, through the sleeping countryside, through the quiet stations where no one boards and no one alights, through the long, unlit stretches where the only sound is the rails, and the only light is the cold scattering of stars above the carriage roof. The train does not know it is carrying a sleeping cat. The train does not need to know. It simply continues, as trains do, as it has always done, as it will continue to do long after this particular night is over, steady and reliable and completely indifferent to the hours, making its patient way from where it came to where it is going, with the unhurried certainty of something that has made this journey many times before and will make it many times again. The rhythm of the rails goes on. The carriage rocks its slow rock. The cat sleeps within the motion the way the motion sleeps within the night, completely, naturally, without resistance, and without end. And somewhere nearby, perhaps in your own still room, you may feel it too, that same sense of being carried, of not needing to navigate, of the night doing its work around you while you simply rest within it. You don't need to know where the train is going. You don't need to hold on to anything at all. The train is moving. The cat is sleeping. And you are allowed to rest now.